postpone it. When others down and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Doubters all the night, and onto them you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Ignite. Plan for intuition upon the stars in the night that glisten. To you they listen, to be you is something I'm wishing. When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others down and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others down and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, in focus. Hope you're doing well. Just figure let's give folks a couple minutes to join. Good morning, John. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, we have a short list this morning. Okay, first one we're going to do is SPY like usual, and then we'll go through the alphabetical list. Okay, so the chart is set up really, really well. We had this dip last week and bounce, and then this is what I was saying, that any dip during the week into the close to consider getting scooping. So this is where I was saying, maybe do a starter. I didn't have a strong confirmation yet or feeling that we were going to bounce, and that's where I said, hey, if you want to take starter positions again, you can go ahead and do that. And then midweek, as those dips, I said, hey, I think those could be faker drops and can start looking at getting scoops long. And what we ended up getting on Thursday was essentially a breakout on SPY. So the question now is, this is going to be turned into an abandoned baby? Do we gap down on Monday and start selling off, or do we start running? So traditionally, whenever SPY had hit this red line up here, we were getting yanks. But now that we've consolidated for a little bit of time, there's actually room to run, probably say up to 410s to 415 in the short term. And so that's what we want to do on SPY, is watch for those dips. I think the key level here is this 398. Good morning, Navi. And so yeah, so key level 398 right here, and then really we've got 410 to 414, and there might be a little pop of 404, 405, something like that, and then a pullback in between. But bigger picture for the upside, we're looking at 410 to 415 area right now, and then for key support, we're looking at 398. And if that breaks, then we're going to come back and likely retest this 393 area, this 390, yeah, probably right 393, and then crack down here into this 388 area. So those are the downside levels. And then if something crazy happens and that breaks, then that opens up those doors that we were looking to set up and happen, but did not. So overall, things are setting up to, technically, it's setting up for upside. Sorry about the yawn. So we should be looking at, as long as we hold over this 398 on SPY, we should be considering any dips for potential longs. And then if it breaks, then we just got to see, is it a faker or not? The next major level being a 393. But right now we're setting up for a grind in April, which sometimes tends to be a good a bullish month from what I understand. So so that's kind of like the context of that I'm looking at or coming into the week is I'm going to be being cautious about potential breakdowns, but overall I'm looking at dips as I want to look for dips on tickers I like that have the potential to have some strong moves to the upside. That's SPY. So let's start going down our list, and we're just going to go down alphabetically. We really short lists or small lists this week. I'm assuming we didn't get too many requests, folks, or long weekend. So let's see. We have ACLS. Let's take a look at this chart. Big rip. It looks like this is benefited from the infrastructure. It's got an ER coming out in May, and it's a pretty big breakout. I'd have to see if there's how far this can go. I mean, like I'm trying to understand what this means dollars wise to them for the infrastructure bill. But you can see it's done these big moves before. If we get a big gap, maybe over 50, 52, I'd look for a short, some profit taking, and then maybe have it if it can dip back to test this breakout 42, 44. That would be the place I'd want to kind of scoop for the bigger picture. Now, for how far and where could rip, that's a really good question. I really don't know. This is new territory for this. Generally, let's see if we do assume a measured move, then 54. So you can see here the right here 44 and 34. So roughly it could do 54, and that'd be a measured move, and then maybe a pullback. So definitely if there's a gap up on Monday up into the 50s, I'd want to I'd expect something like this. Gap up fill and some profit taking. You can see it likes to do that so let's see if we get it. This could be a nice easy money maker. And Iceman, are you with us this morning? Okay, I've not seen him yet. Okay, so let's keep going. So next on the list is ADI. And so ADI is also infrastructure. And so if you look at the daily chart here, this is set up nicely. It consolidated here a bit under the 50-day, pushed over, came back, tested, reclaimed. And now for upside, we've got this 161, 162 as first resistance, then the 164.50. And then I'm thinking this could probably see 170 if we do a trend line here. So yeah, so probably this one right here, and then it'll shoot past that. And then I would say, hey, if this is going to actually reclaim and it does get some benefit and some strength, probably goes up to 175 or so. We'll have to see. Let's see. We also next have Amazon. So this is one that I'm very come on. Very, very going to be paying attention to this week. Um, and you'll start seeing this in some of the other tech names as I bring them up. So what we have here on is the 200 and the 50 coming together. We had a close over the 200. That looked pretty nice. If we close over now, if we get over this 3180 on the 50-day moving average, so 3200, I think we could, we have potential here for clearing this 3200, and we do. We'll probably shoot to 33 to 3400. Right? It's had a big consolidation, and we just need to see if it can reclaim this. Otherwise, if this test 3200 fails, breaks to 3150 again, I'd be looking for the short and for us to start heading down some. But for now, I just don't really see a reason why, without the economy getting wrecked or something, why Amazon would drop from here. Yeah, so we'll have to see. But there's definitely good opportunity. If this turns out to be the 100 200 point week, this could be a situation where you can buy maybe one of these contracts um, for a couple grand, and maybe turn that into, if we get a 50 or 100 point move, you can maybe make 50 grand on that. No, maybe not 50. That's probably a bit much. But probably make 10 to 20. That might play out using 2 grand. So there should be some opportunity here. There's definitely some opportunity here. We just got to see if it plays out on Amazon. So the key levels I'm looking at here near term. And the yeah, so 3180, 3200, because that's where that was the previous support. But and then after that, we're looking basically right here around 3330, and then 3440. And then if that clears in, we're looking at 3550 to 3600. Okay, so that's Amazon. Let's move on. And we're looking at EH. Okay, so this is basically ER. We'll see how earnings comes out in the next week or two. We've got a bounce here. It's had a big drop. So hopefully we can get some more consolidation. Ideally, we get a little more consolidation in dips, risk versus this 30. Maybe get in around 30, 32 if it comes, and then for the ER run up back toward maybe this 39, 40, maybe even up to 42, 43. And then we'll have to see what news is. I don't know if it's got the juice for up here, but if it does and it has great results, it's got a lot of room to the upside. E-hang, yeah. And then if it fails, it can drop down here into the 20s. 24, 20 right here. So this will be definitely one to keep an eye on as things develop over the next week or two. Okay, Facebook. Okay, this is a big chart. If Facebook can continue to hold, we have a double bottom here, a higher low right here. I'm expecting with the big data breach, we'll probably get a gap down. We may get a gap down on tomorrow. So if we do, I think it's going to be BTFD. So if it can pull back down here into 294, 295, maybe even 290 if it's got enough of a dip. Then we'll have to watch for a higher low or double bottom or something and get long for this breakout. The thing that now, if this for some reason gaps up 305, 310 in pre-market on Monday, given the news, if there's any rumor or something that comes out that the government's going to investigate Facebook or going to bring something about the data breach, then there could be a nice yank and a pullback on it. So there's definitely some news that would affect how this chart plays out. Now, barring the data breach news, the overall chart right here is we want to see if this 298 to 300 can hold, and if the 298 300 can form support, then this is looking like we're going to break out to break out the 304 305 to go to new highs. So let's see how the price action is this coming week. But if it sets up, I mean, this was Facebook's basically been getting bought up, and it's got an ER report coming up here at the end of April. So if they're expecting a monster thing, that's could have another maybe 5-10, maybe 10%, 5-10% to the upside ahead of the ER if they're going to want to run it up ahead of that. And so yeah, so let's see what Facebook gives us. But I would be definitely watching for dips this week for potential longs, and then big gap ups for short opportunity profit taking. Okay, so that's Facebook. Let's go. This list is going fast today. We're going to be able to get back to family and friends quickly. Okay, so Google, look at this chart. Google's been strong and on a tear. Great consolidation here for the last 2 months since February. The beginning of February and March, it's had 2 months of consolidation. And so this breakout should be pretty solid. So watch dips for this breakout. I think we could head to 22,300 this coming week. No, not this week. This next coming month. But we could have a nice quick 50, 100 point move. And if it's on if this happens on a Thursday or Friday, the contracts will usually be pretty cheap. So because Google doesn't usually have big range moves, so when it does move, you can get paid pretty well. But yeah, so breakout over 2145, I would probably target about 2200 to 2250 in 3 days, within 3 days. Okay, so that's Google. Let's move on. NXPI. So this is another infrastructure. Also set up for a daily chart breakout. So let's see how that happens. But again, as it makes new highs, you can see how it likes to pull back. So I would probably target 220. We'll probably do maybe 220 to 235. Let's see that. Let's see. I'm gonna use this right here as the guide. So this is more kind of like the art than the. Okay, so yeah, so 220. Yeah, I'd say we can target 220 on this, 220, 225 this week, and then look for a potential short opportunity on it. Okay, next, Microsoft. Now, Microsoft has to hold this 238, 240 on dips this week. And if it can hold this dip, it's also set up like the other tech names for a big move to the upside. I think that defense bill, like you can see this consolidation right here. And we've got a gap fill here. This is what we have to worry about. But if it does the dip, pushes and clears this 245, 246, I'd say 250, 260 is on deck for this next month. Okay, and let's see, that's Microsoft. And what do we have next? PAYX. Okay, so PAYX is an earnings play. Let's see how it comes out this week. Come on, here we go. So reporting on the 6th before market. And if they report well, I mean, this has been having decent runs. Now you can see here, it had a good ER and it got sold off last. So this what I'd be looking for is more of the same, actually. I would love for it to rip and then get some profit taking. And that'd be pretty sweet there, right? Because it's kind of had a decent run up from 85 to 100 in the last month. Or you can say from 90 to 100 in the last month. So maybe tomorrow we might have a little run and maybe run up to like 100, 98 to 100. It looks like it already closed there. So yeah, so it might pop up to 100, 101 ahead of the report, and then we'll see what happens. And if it reports well, I would expect 105 to 108 area probably. And if it does a monster, then we could be looking at probably a 10%, so 110 or so. Hey, Harry. Welcome. And let's see. So yeah, so I think this definitely, we should be paying attention to this for a potential short, just because that's how it seems to play out. And then it starts grinding again. Okay, that's PAYX. We got 2 more left. Wow, what a quick day. I'm actually also in the middle of a bit of a remodel, so forgive the noise if you hear stuff in the background. Okay, so this is STZ. Now, it's bouncing off the 50. It's probably a decent short. I'd be looking for this level right here to be tested. This 238. It reports on the 8th, so it's also reporting this week. So we're looking for this 237, 238. That clears. We're looking at 242. And then with a really nice ER, probably see the 250 to 255 area. And then if we do get a gap up like we did with the earnings right here, we might get some profit taking before more upside. So will it really depend on how things kind of set up. Yeah, sorry, you can hear the banging already. All right, so sorry, we're gonna have to. Well, we've got one more left, and it's gonna be a short. This is a short session. And then if some things change during midweek, I'll do another one of these to update the week, our perspectives or a bigger picture view. But for now, it's all definitely looking for upside. Okay, USCR. Okay, so this had a nice big push and drop on the infrastructure. So we can probably that's really interesting to know that this U.S. concrete. So it rallied big on the infrastructure bill, came back. So I'd say if it dips back towards 60, 65, holds on Monday, probably could be a decent potential long-term swing. We just need to see this infrastructure bill pass, and then what contracts might head their way. So something we want to pay attention to long term. But for the daily chart right here, it's a big breakout here. You can see this level right here, the 65, and then the 75 right here, and then 85 from a couple years ago. And so if with infrastructure bills, I think this could take out the 85 this year. So 85, maybe 90 leaps could be interesting. So let's keep an eye on this one and see if we can come up with a nice swing trade. And that's it, guys. So we're going to make this a wrap, mostly because there's a lot of noise behind me. Otherwise, I normally ask for some tickers since we have some time. But this is probably our first weekly review that's done in under 30 minutes. Wow. Sorry for the short list. Actually, you know, let's see if I'll take two if anybody has some charts that they want to look at, and just share it in the chat and YouTube if there's any other requests. But overall, I think everyone's kind of with family and friends today, so got a small group here, small list. Okay, you for the uranium, is that is there a catalyst on that, Harry? Okay, so 100 is a big level here. You can see it from the volume profile. It's a big volume spike. So if 100 can hold, maybe dip and this holds and starts grinding, yeah, then it could be nice to head back toward the 50, 110 to 120. It's not a bad place on the chart and a great risk reward. Probably risking 2 points of downside for 20 plus points of upside. Oh, not uranium, Unity software. Yes. Thank you. Sorry for I got confused with another thing I was looking at. Yeah, no, I like it. I think it's a good risk reward. This volume you can see is what's key right here. This 100, 105 level. So it pushed, gap, held the 100. If it can hold more, continue to hold and start grinding and take this out, I think it's a decent risk reward. Just technically right here, and I'm just using this volume spike to see if as long as that holds, then it's the upside is back, and if it yeah, so it's, like I said, not a bad risk reward for a swing on you from this. We have a double bottom, we have a higher low right here, we have a volume spike here. I would target 115 to 120 at least, and then if in the coming months it reclaims, then next big major level is 130. Good upside on this, so good eye, Harry. All right, cool. I'm not seeing any other tickers, so everyone, thank you very much for joining me on a Easter Sunday, and I will see everyone bright and early tomorrow, feeling a lot better. You know, that second shot kind of got me a little bit this last week. Missed some great trade opportunities, but there will always be more. So take care, and see you this week. In the morning, actually. Tomorrow. Bye.